Hello, welcome back to Goosebumps HorrorTown playthrough. This is Grim here, and this is going to be for part 3 of the Monster Blood series. Now, I haven't begun the video with a haha meme as I usually would do. That will be saved for the next video. But regardless of that, I do want to make some mentions of certain things. For starters, well, a milestone for me anyways, I reached about 250 now, so get to see I'm slowly starting to grow, and even at this point I'm probably higher than that. I mean, when I took the picture, it's one of the big milestones, 250. The next big one I think is 500, so let's see how fast we can get up to that one. But, I'm not going to be too picky on that one. I do want to say to people who are watching me, thank you, welcome, and I hope you do enjoy what I have in store. With that being said, the other thing before we begin is I got this pop-up during my phone notifications. It seems like they've been doing this a lot now lately, so I might as well give it a share. It popped up with this: Happy Easter from Dark Falls Chemicals at beautiful HorrorTown. Did you already try our new delicious chocolate eggs? They sure have a surprise. And a surprise it is. So this was taking place during Easter, and I figured, you know what, this is probably the best time to show it, because tonight's episode is going to be talking about all the pranks and mischief that kind of comes with the two pranking wars, as I kind of hinted at last video. The other thing too that I want to talk about before I begin is that recently they've announced that there is going to be a Goosebumps TV series coming soon. By the sounds of it, the producers from the two original films by Sony is going to be involved, as well as Sony and Scholastic. So it seems like these companies, like Sony, has the rights to the Goosebumps franchise. What's interesting about it too is that he made a comment where he said that, and I quote, he wants this to be high-end, meaning it's going to be actually with a budget, and they'll have it so that both kids and adults enjoy it. So a lot of people, myself included, are kind of like, oh, are they going to make it spooky? They're going to make it spoopy? Yeah, I hope so. But other than that, they just announced that they are doing it, so there's no trailers, none of that stuff as of yet, but it will be interesting to see this pop through. It might even have some inspirations for future contents for this game. But yeah, keep an eye out. I'll make sure to talk about it at some point during these videos, but you know what? I know I'm dating this, but screw it at this point. So, you know what, let's just dive right into the videos and see what we have in store for the our misadventures. So when we start back into the town, after me going through the fortune teller, we have this, The Darkfall Rises. This is going to be for the Junkyard. I believe I might have shown this off last video. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm just doing it again here. I think it's this first time it popped up. Again, I keep on just, so many things keep on passing by that any little stuff, it's like, did I do this? I don't know, I can't remember anymore. But yeah, this event is certainly something. It's a bit of a mixed bag, but let's start off with the story of this.
And there. Now let's look for an unsuspecting passerby.
Minster-flavored gum, anyone? Gee, Dustin, I'll have some. That flavor sounds cool. But, ugh, it tastes horrible. April Fools.
Oh dear, we start again with the whole pranking war. So now we're gonna see what happens on the other side, Team Evan.
So those amateurs are trying to rival us. Well, they've got another thing coming. Boy, pass those cookies and some of that green slime.
You got it, Mr. Wood.
Craft some monster cookies, 2 of them, which makes sense because there's 2 in the picture there. Although it's considering that you're getting 1, it's weird. I will say this though, as you'll start to see the pranks start to kind of elaborate, and I'll give the art department team this. They did a really interesting job with trying to build a narrative, and yeah, it's kind of like a simple, oh, we'll just put this item on top of the other character as a simple mod, much like what I kind of do with Gail, my little mascot of sorts. Which is interesting because I'm sure someone's going to ask, why do I have a bird on there? It's a long story, but I played Sonic Forces and that was hilarious, and I ended up making a character that just became a mascot. So she is, I guess, is a jail crow. silent tune, as it were. But anyways, now we're going to see what Evan's up to.
Hey, are you Carly Beth?
Depends. Who's asking?
My name's Evan, world top first prankster. I've been told you possess a certain mask that would be great for pranking.
Depends. We'll have to see if it's on board.
It?
The mask. It won't choose just anywhere,
When I was reading the dialogue, it sounded like he was just kind of awkward trying to talk to a girl his age.
Mr. Mask? Hello, my name is Evan.
I know who you are. I sense your energy.
Oh, well, I'm here because I would like to...
I know what you want. I feel your aura.
Right. Well, are you in or what?
Player, I'm always down for a good scare. Count me in.
Player, are you talking to me or Evan there? So anyways, we're going to need to play 2 scenes, but we're going to be playing with a lot of scenes before we get to the end there. And the one thing we're going to be doing is we're going to be showing off all these guys together for the Junk Falls, so this is going to be hilarious and shoot, or very intriguing to say the least, so let's go ahead and just do this right now. One thing I will mention while these guys are just kind of doing their thing is that there is something in regards to, yeah, you get to see, I love how the monsters just kind of go about their dead. The only person, it's interesting too, because my last comment for part 2, I ended up getting a lot of talk, and one of them was I mentioned about the quarantine bit that Evan said, and someone pointed out in the comments saying that I think he was trying to say quarantine, but it came out as warrantine. I don't know, yeah, and then I'm like, oh my god, that's probably what it was. But I'm wondering if he said that because he misunderstood what he said, with with Dustin, or he's doing it as a sarcastic, like, oh, like as he was doing it there, like more like this, right? So it's kind of weird. The other thing too is that I think someone shared a video that they used my trigger the big white dog joke and actually put Clifford the big white dog music in the background while him just doing this kind of scare stuff. But what's interesting is that the music was just so all over the place because he too was doing the copyright hiding underneath the thing there. There was something else I wanted to say something, but I can't for life. Oh, I now know what it was. Oh yeah, and then these are them pictures here. Nothing too exciting. Nothing like, oh look, they're scared. I'll show another character after, but yeah. What's interesting is that for some reason in this story, when it came to Carly Beth, what's interesting with her is that in this story, it's kind of like the mask and her are like Venom in the sense of Spider-Man world, because it's like both of them are like one event. They're both 2 different entities, but they work at one of the same. So like how Venom talks like we in that kind of third person talk, like plural as in more than one. It's to say that like they're cooperating with one another. It seems like this is kind of the case with the mask, especially how they kind of did the narrative here. And I did like that, especially since we kind of get a little bit more with the whole what's the deal with them there. I'm going to put some clowns on the screen now, and I'm also going to be doing I forgot what's her, Silent Jean, I don't know what her name was again, but it's the mime woman. Get to see her again because I think I wanted to, you don't get to see her because she costs too much money. $2. Yeah, $2 a month. The other thing too that someone pointed out was in the show, I watched the show again with Carly Beth, and what was interesting is that in the book, she wanted, I talked about this during my playthrough, and then someone commented like recently on the old stuff, and he actually commented this on. For some reason, in the original book, the if I remember correctly, she wanted to buy the mask from the shop owner, and he's like, no, I don't want to do it. And he's like, come on, please. And he's like, all right, fine. I'll just give me the money, and I'll give you the thing, right? So he reluctantly paid, like, to get the transaction. In the show, she just takes the mask, put the money on the desk, and then she just ran, and then the shop owner tries like, hey, we'll come back here, and then he just doesn't do anything after that, so it's like, oh, okay. And then in the game, she just literally just steals it with the 5-finger discount. It's just like, man, what the, like, ooh, man. I think she was a little bit evil in the first place, man. I know, like, it's weird because in the story, and here's the thing too, Carly Beth is probably the only character, yeah, so we're gonna do novelty shop, but Carly Beth is the only character in the Goosebumps books that seem to have some sort of character growth, because in the end of the book, she actually gets a little bit more, like, she's not a scary cat anymore, and you can actually see her being a little bit more confident. Like, in the show, she actually wore that stupid duck costume, like, you know, the one with her doing the chicken dance. Was it the chicken dance or the duck dance? I don't remember if it was a chicken or a duck, but, yeah. So she was, like, embracing it now, and she doesn't seem like she's scared, and this was during, like, Haunted Mask 2. I think the other thing, too, is that she... Oh, and this is funny. Okay, so this right here, if you're watching this, look at this. The masks in Carly Beth is this harassing poor Theo when he's just like, oh man, just leave me alone. I can't deal with this right now. Oh god. So, I don't know what's going on. This is going to be another one about this, but it's going to be even more hilarious. So this is just the first instance of this, getting harassed. What happened, and what I believe, is that if you summon him during the Coco Clown College, and then afterwards, for some reason, they just have to go after this guy, and then the game doesn't have his animation of getting scared, so it just gets this weird loop.
that was amazing.
You're the best,
Carly.
Oh, and Mr. Max.
Mr. Mask.
Anytime, fellow players. It's nice to flex those old monster muscles from time to time.
These kids show true potential. Has the time finally come to drive Slappy out of town?
And that's the end for the Little Giant questline with Evan. And this is going to be interesting because we kind of get a more background with whole Mr. Wood trying to succeed. Maybe he succeeds in getting Slappy out. We won't know for part 4. And, yep, so we're done that. And here comes the next one. This is the one with Andy. Oh boy, I can't wait to talk about her because, so there's 4 quests in dealing with her. And, well, you'll see more in a bit. But near the end of the video, I'll show you why there's been a controversy. But, yeah, I got enough of this, so I decided, you know what, nah, I'll put another one of these toxic wastes on the floor here so that the kids can end up becoming the Toxic Avenger, which is, that's probably only trauma, a lot of weird. I'm just throwing references in here, and some of the people watching this probably doesn't even know what I'm saying, but anyways, here's the main quest line.
Oh, cookies. I guess no one will mind if I take a few. Ew, they're disgusting.
April Fool's, darling.
No, that was good. That was really good. So let's continue.
Oh, I know. Easter's right around the corner, right?
I like where you're going with this.
Craft the monster surprise egg. Okay. I think I mentioned this before, but the whole Kinder Surprise thing, it's just, ooh boy. Ooh, that's so good. But no, this kind of reminds me of those weird kid channels things where you just click on the Nickelodeon slime, or they just have this weird, they make the makeshift eggs, right? And what's funny about this is that I actually eventually end up getting, I believe I actually ended up getting the eggs from Evan here. So we're gonna finish this quest off just like that, like in a snap. Just have to wait for it to load, and yeah, look at that. We're already done.
Oh, happy Easter to me. These eggs look delicious and tastes like garbage.
His face was priceless, Carly.
What I don't get is people are like, oh man, this is nasty, and yet Evan just eats this. Like, the animals make sense, but Evan just eats it.
Here comes your mom. You thinking what I'm thinking?
Oh yeah, I have just a prank for her.
Oh, so that's where the fake teeth come in. Okay. I'm kind of trying to think now, or the fake teeth, like, from the not the episode, but I could have sworn I seen the teeth, like, during the, head for mention. I'm not going to remember this because I don't want to kind of deal, but, yeah, so luckily you don't need a whole lot for this, and you don't need this item for anything else for the quest, so thank goodness for that. You just need this for this quest line, and then you're done with this. And then if you want to make more to sell more, then there's that. But yeah, time passed, we get the thing, and now we're going to get to see the storyline. So watch this.
Hail, Countess. I am ready to do your bidding.
Now look at this right here. They added the teeth in his mouth. What a great little edit there.
A new vampire? I didn't turn you, did I?
Or are you?
Nightwing's injury?
Oh, yes. He sent me to prank you big time.
I'm probably sure after that he ran away because she was probably pissed.
Oh yeah, we can do way better than that.
For sure. They are nothing more than a pair of amateurs.
So, who has the honors of being our next prank recipient?
I know. Let's prank Mrs. Mac. She'll regret making me stay in the detention.
Craft Monster Delight, make sure you put the model piece up and get some 2 evil masks. So, I haven't really spawned that yet because time passed, so I probably have time to do that again. But yeah, it's interesting how they've kind of made this turn into somewhat of a pranking war, and people just forget that the Dark Falls chemical plant is here, re-brought back from the trash bin that it threw out from. You probably dug it up from Slappy's town, knowing him. But yeah, we're gonna have to summon these guys again. But yeah, the little glitch when it came to Theo was hilarious, and I think part 4 is gonna be even better, as you'll see in a minute. But yeah, I'm not gonna have this be spawned again because you've already seen this before and nothing really exciting happens. But yeah, anyways, I'm just showing you what this building looks like, you know, as an actual building rather than it blending in nicely with what I've set up in town. But anyways, time's passed, we finally got the Monster Delight, and here we go.
Good morning, teacher. I thought about it long and hard and realized you were right. So I wanted to make amends.
Is that Monster's Delight? My favorite dessert. How very kind of you.
Here you go, Mrs. Marr. Enjoy.
Wait. Is this regular broccoli?
Ew. Serves you right, creature teacher.
Oh look, he brought back the name of the book.
Alright, we need a game. We are going up against professionals here.
Got it. Let's play a joke on HorrorTown's greatest joker.
Greatest Joker, who? Okay, so clown mask and then get Slappy in a box. So I love how they decided to describe Slappy in a box. So when I was helping the dude with the art stuff, and he's like, oh, any items you can think of? And I'm like, well, how about Slappy in a box? And then he's like, yeah, that's great. Let's do Slappy and Mr. Wood, and it'll actually fit in with the narrative. So it's weird. You can buy multiple of these. No, you can only buy one of these, I think. And what's funny about them is that in the story, it actually it's described as the fact that you took Slappy's head and you literally rip it off his body and put it in a box with a spring on it. You know, because he's a magic dummy. Or ventriloquist, I should say, because he doesn't like being called a dummy. But yeah, so then we got to do Coco Clown. The clown masks, by the way, is gonna be the only tricky part because you're gonna have to get that from Coco, and unless you have Theo on you or you're willing to spend some cash, you're gonna be waiting a while just to grind some of this stuff out. From what I understand and what I realized from this event is the fact that it seems like, for the most part, the one thing that ended up having people not so happy with is crafting for that peanut butter. And it's because you only have one character that can do it, that and the egg, which is Lucy and Dustin. There's no other items you can get from that, unless, of course, you spent money on the last event with the 2 twins, as we've seen before. But anyways, you get a good look at him, and Let's see who's this jokester.
Cousin, long time no see you. It's been so long.
Oh my god, what is with that face mask there, buddy? And what's with the voice?
Kiki? Is that you?
Of course. It's your favorite cousin come to visit you. And I bring beautiful present.
Oh, I love surprises. Let's see what's inside the box.
Surprise, Joker! Now the joke's on you!
Impeccable timing, Slappy.
I guess in hindsight it makes sense it would actually be Theo or Murder the Clown in this case, but, you know,
Please, we can do box pranks better than that.
Are you sure about this? We usually try to be more original.
Yeah, we don't want to come across as copycats.
Oh, nonsense! Quick, take my head and put it in this box.
see, I told you, I literally just put this head in this box. So then you play Stricker's house, and then you get Mr. Wood in a box. That sounds so bad. Woody in a box. There's Snake in my boots. Ooh, you got a friend in me. Do. So anyways, I just need to put this down and then we're going to continue on with the quest. And yeah, like I mentioned before, it has a strange resemblance looking like that from the movie series. Not the movie series, the TV series.
Oh, for me? That's very kind of you, Ev. Ah!
Surprise! It's Mr. Wood, #1 scarer of the neighborhood.
Nice rhyme there, buddy.
Oh, very funny.
Hey, Dustin, why are you hanging out with Slappy all day? We miss playing with you.
Who?
Yeah, me too. This is starting to get old. You want to meet at the treehouse?
Hey, that sounds fun. Can we join?
You. Can we join you? I forgot that when I was doing the voice edits. Whoops.
Hey, boy, what are you doing running along with those outsiders?
They're not outsiders. They're part of HorrorTown now. And dummies are not welcome at the Many Mysteries Club.
Ooh, burn, Slappy.
You'll regret this, traitor. I'll be your worst nightmare.
I'm getting tired of Slappy. He thinks he's so special. Don't worry, Justin. I think I have just a prank for him. Oh, you're good. No wonder they call you world's top first prankster.
So what is his plan? Craft Slappy Mask, 5 of them. Okay, so the next following parts of these quests are gonna be the most... This is the funniest idea I have ever seen. So now you get an explanation of, like, why is there Slappy Masks here? It's gonna make sense now. And the part 4 is gonna have a lot more of this text and what happens later on. But you get a little bit of a taste, and... my god, when I read the dialogue for this during the, when they were making this in the process, I laughed because it was just, the mockery of the whole thing was just so good. Even when you see in this part, it gets better, but you get to see a little bit in this part, and you get a little bit more of our good friend, Compton around. But for now, he's kind of been absent for the most part. So, yeah, but, you know, there's a nice end solution, and then there's also a very interesting conclusion regarding, one particular place in particular, and that's the weird building in the middle there. The weird mausoleum of sorts with the, Don't Open Dead Inside Walking Dead reference over there with the books. I mentioned before that it seems like there is a hint going on. Now, I know what's going on in the background, so I have an idea what might be coming up in the near future. I won't say anything yet, but I will tell you the narrative is going to confirm this in the next, whatever comes up next. And here it's going to basically give you a tease. And what's been going on lately and what I've been kind of helping with is kind of having the narrative kind of lead into the next thing, so you get a little bit of an idea what might be coming up. In this case, they did hint it a little bit. I won't say what it is, and I will tell you that you will be very surprised as what might be coming for May, especially with the whole interesting aspect here. But maybe by the time this video comes up, and I'm thinking this video will be popping in like a day before the event actually ends. So we'll probably get to see the actual whole content of this maybe sooner than later. What I will tell people is that I've been lately kind of be posting this up on Mondays. And the other thing too, which will be interesting, is that I'm kind of moving from a somewhat consequential shift for nights. So I'm going to be like 2 days on, 2 days off, 1 day on, or 3 days on, 3 days off kind of deal. So I've done that before in the past, so it'll be interesting kind of moving on with this. What means that when Mondays might be interesting to try to be there during the live presentations, but I'll see. I might do them earlier, but I will experiment with that. But for now, they're kind of like 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I tend to hang out there to kind of just talk to people while these things are going on. What I will tell you, though, is that this has got to be one of the more interesting bits of this quest line, in the sense of I kind of like how they're kind of making the story kind of go about this. And I will talk more about this in part 4 and then near the end of the review. But I've been hearing a lot of mixed feelings with this event. On the one hand, I'm seeing a lot of people enjoy it in the form of the actual content being presented in the story. And I have heard people who are struggling with it actually ended up beating the quests, which they're like, oh, finally, I got the quest done. So, you know, and I think that's partially because of the whole time limit that we have was like probably the longest we've had since the Haunted Halloween, but that one was like they extended it. But in this case, this is probably the longest we've ever had it. And I'm gonna finally get myself this statue here, and this is the most expensive item I have to get. And quite frankly, even me not playing this game a lot, I still have a lot of currency, so they give a bit of a pretty penny. But then again, I am a premium player, so it's kind of hard to say how it feels for a normal player, especially if they have limited of characters around. What I've noticed what they're doing is that they're kind of, as of right now, you'll probably notice that there are not recycled characters, but past event characters coming back for each event. What I'll be telling you is that that's probably a thing moving forward, to try to get them more invested. And from what I understand, and there's a nice close-up of the zombie Compton here. It looks very interesting. I never really thought that it would be a zombie version of the guy, but you know, what can he do? One thing I will say though too in this case, and this is a unique island by the way, so you only get one of these. One of the interesting things about this too is that they're going to try to bring some usefulness to most of these characters. So with this in mind and getting this one, we should be starting this interesting quest.
Greetings, Horror-Towners! I present to you the Dummy Mask. Looks strikingly similar to someone we all love to hate, doesn't it?
Wow, look at that mask on this kid.
Slappy, I guess you're not so special anymore. Everyone, come get a mask! Let's flood the streets!
Oh my god, Dustin too.
What? Take those off! There's only one Slappy in this town. Not anymore, there's not. These kids are brilliant.
Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to present to you one of the funniest things I've read.
Oh, look at me. I'm so evil and manipulative. I am the king of Horror-Town, and I just power fireworks with kicks in the nose. Well, one of the two.
My god, Eric, you look even worse than that.
Fine. You won't stop that? I'll turn into a giant and stop it myself. I know what Compton Dawes has been up to. He's been developing the formula to turn that hamster into a giant furball. Time to try it myself and stomp on everyone around here.
So play the old tavern and get some monster blood. So the reason why I love this is that they're finally mocking the dummy. And that has got to be the funniest thing, with seeing the kids just mocking them, and you'll just see them going like, ah, look at me. It's just that immature, childish nature that I just puts a smile on my face, as stupid as that is. And you'll see there's more characters who will get involved with this to the point where and this is funny too, because near the end you get the conclusion to this quest line in particular in the next part, and it's funny with what happens, and Slappy becomes the butt of the joke basically, and then this actually might end up causing him to flee. Maybe. I can't say yes yet. Also, I want to point out that there's these weird old dock boats on the side there. I'm not sure what's going on in that design, but what I will say is that this update is just so all over the place, man. And I'm not 100% sure if this is going to be the one with the other Theo thing, or it might be the next part. But if it is this one, then it's going to be funny. Just thinking about all that stuff too. Just, oh my god. Like I said, this whole thing is mixed. On the one hand, a lot of people liked some of the concept, but on the other hand, especially with part 4, or near the end of the video, you get to see something else that kind of becomes a bit of a, oh dear, controversy kind of deal. Which is just, I love how Cuddles he's just so happy, just kind of going around. Also, someone did point this out, and I will say, another Goosebumps fan. And this was something I did think about, although I used the Invader Zim clip meme with the guy getting squashed. By PP, I think its name was. What's funny about that, though, is that in this, there was another scene with a giant hamster, and that was from, Nutty Professor 2. I forgot that was a thing until someone brought it up, and I'm like, oh god, I remember that now. It's, you know what it was? It's like, you know how you see something so horrid and so awful that your brain mentally just blocks the information off and hides it away, and it only brings it up as soon as someone mentioned it and go, oh yeah, that was a thing. Yeah, this was probably what happened. And also, I don't know why I'm looking at Garfield over here. Oh, sorry, John. I hate Jesus Christ. I'm not going to do a Garfield impression. I don't know what's with Garfield, by the way. I'm just ranting on stuff now. But one of their Pixow's first games, I think I might have mentioned this during my past, but it was the actual event. Not the event, but it was actually... I think they call it Garfield Survival of the Fattest. And it's actually based on the book of the same name, but the concept of it was actually interesting. And this was their first IP that they had. And then the company ended up kind of succeeding with the Sandbox IP that they have. And they're actually making a third one now. And it's actually looking pretty decent. It's kind of like a Minecraft, but you're having more chances to be able to kind of monetize it in a weird way of like cryptocurrency. I think that's what they're kind of going with. And the other thing too is that they're kind of focusing in more on these 3 games in particular. This one, the Addams Family, which is doing them very well from what I hear, and Snoopy, which is for almost 5 years now and it's still going strong. So kudos to that. Maybe this game will go for 5 years. But yeah, you might also mention, you might have noticed I've not talked about one video in particular, and that's because I believe that one is now discontinued, and that's Wonder Park. I haven't seen them updated for a while, so I'm going to say that they've kind of disclosed that. Oh, and by the way, they changed the Magic Exhibit, and I will point out something else too. Anyways, 21 days left, and here comes the controversy about now. No. Sorry, wrong. I forgot that I also wanted to show you the Dead House. This was, I don't know what happened here, but, yeah, as I'm letting, you know what it is? I think what I did here was because Compton was involved, I wanted to show off that, yeah, there's this scene back in September with Compton and the crew, so I was like, you know what, yeah, why not we just have them come out and about and do this thing now. And, I'm still wondering why he doesn't have his animations back. I'm hoping I can get Bug the Guy or my contact to get the person to kind of put the animations back in, because like someone pointed out, it's kind of like he's Mr. Useless now, And I knew why this hadn't happened was because there was no real person leading the charge. It's a weird story, but yeah, with the magic exhibit, in the next video I'll show something off that I found interesting about it, but for now, yeah, I'm just gonna let this spin up. And I feel awkward now because I thought this video would lead into the clip of the controversy, but no, that's gonna come up in a bit. You know, Compton himself is a bit of a controversy, but whatever. Anyways, here is the controversy popping in right about now. Ah, the Rebel Without a Cause. This is the bundle that has Andy and Carly Beth in it. And you might notice something interesting. Besides all the stuff you get there. Oh, and this is how many days left, 27. And that's nice. But, if we look here, heroes, neighbors. No, there's not there. Where is Carly and Andy? Oh no! Don't tell me that. Boy, are you gonna tell me that this is gonna be the third time Carly Beth is exclusive locked behind a paywall? Oh boy. Yes. This is probably the most controversial of the whole thing. But hey, you get to see that next part. That's right, I gave you a little teaser to make you kind of water in the mouth, go, oh, Grim's gonna rip it a new one. I'm hoping. But for those who probably miss it or is financially broke, do not worry. I will help you by showing you what you're missing out on with Andy. And needless to say, this is going to be a very weird video. Because I am going to throw some funny memes in there, but the review is going to be interesting because I have no idea how I am going to present this and where I'm going to place this. Because I feel like I'm indifferent with this event, but I might explain more in part 4 in the review. But for now, I will leave you with the thought of wondering what might come in. So until then, till we see yourselves again, I've been Grim, and I'll be seeing you next time for what Goosebumps HorrorTown comes through for us. So until then, don't be a fool. Stay in school. Once the thing is done, like, you stay home now because of the thing, but when the thing's not there, then go back to school, okay? Just, yeah, do that. You be smart. You be smarter than me. How about that? Oh God.